Welcome to How It All Started podcast in North Iowa. My name is Erick Nganyange, and my guest today, Yvonne Willis. Welcome to the show, man.
Thank you for having me.
Born and raised in Jamaica?
Born and raised in Jamaica, yes, you're right.
What part?
I was born in St. Elizabeth. So St. Elizabeth is considered to be the fruit basket of Jamaica, where most of the produce is grown.
Oh, really? I always been a super fan of Bob Marley. Is Bob Marley as big in Jamaica as he is around the world?
I guess when I was younger, he wasn't that big because Rastafarianism was kind of a taboo, and But then he's big in Jamaica. Everybody, even because his music is so good.
Yeah.
So Bob Marley is the thing. But I think the wider world, you ask about Bob Marley, and everybody like, oh yes, but ask about the prime minister's like, who's that?
Yep. Yeah, I think when you ask most people that are not from Jamaica, the most famous people in Jamaica, they're thinking about is Garvey and Bob Marley.
Yes.
So walk me back, born and raised in Jamaica. When did you come to the States, and when did you end up in Mason City?
I came to the U.S. in 2004.
Okay.
And then I came to Mason City, November 2009.
What brought you to Mason City?
Oh, I married someone from here, but I actually didn't come here because of him. So I was literally led by the Spirit of God to come to Mason City.
Wow. But your husband was from here?
Yes, he was.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. Mm-hmm. And you guys met in Jamaica?
No, we met in South Carolina.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Oh, so when you came to the United States, you went to South Carolina?
Yes, I came on because Jamaicans go everywhere to work. So they have like a hotel program. So I was working at the Westin in South Carolina.
Okay, so you came to South Carolina.
Yes.
That was
2004.
2004. Mm-hmm. And then you say in 2008?
2009.
That's when you came
to
Mason City.
Yeah.
Okay. And you came to work because were you at the hospital then? Or?
No, I came here, like I said, my ex is from here, so he was coming back home, but this was like new for me, So I had my two children at a time, so I did a little work here and there because daycare is expensive, and it's kind of like I did home care providing here and there, and I have a few clients, and so the hospital I'm there 8 years now.
Oh,
so I did in between before there.
Okay, how old are your kids when you move here?
My daughter was born 2005.
Yeah,
so she was 4.
So she's the oldest?
Well, of my 2 kids that were born here, I have 6 kids.
Your 6 kids total? Okay.
Yes, but these 2 were born in the U.S.
Okay.
In Atlanta. 2 of my older kids passed away.
Oh, I remember you told me that story.
Yes, so I have 2 kids in Jamaica. Okay. My oldest and my second oldest passed away. Oldest in 2018 and the second 2021.
Wow. Was one of them due to a car accident?
Yes, my son, he was going to work and somebody was in a hurry to get where they were going and around the red light and killed both he and his friend.
How old was he?
33.
My goodness. And that was 2018?
No, 2021.
2021.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. Wow. And the one who passed 2018 was?
She was 33 as well.
33?
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
I'm like, okay, God, what's going on here?
Wow. Are you scared of that number?
No.
No?
I just look at life as like we don't have any guarantee over anything at all. Sometimes we think we do, but we really don't, and it's like I think we all have a journey and like allotted times.
Oh, yeah.
And when the time comes, then there's not much we can do about it. I didn't used to think like that, but I as you get older, you tend to see life different.
Oh yeah. So they both passed in Jamaica.
Yes.
How did you get the news? And walk me through the.
Well, for my daughter,
Pain.
she was sick for a little bit, which I don't want to get into,
Yeah.
but I just kind of like the end of it, I got like a phone call like around 4:00 in the morning. I think it was a Thursday. You kind of expecting it, but then still it's like death is like an unwelcome visitor. It's like he's not going to stay, but he's never welcome. So you cannot prepare for death like you prepare for a baby. It's like, it's unwelcome,
Mm-hmm.
So I got the call around 4 or something in the morning, and then, which was devastating, but, and this strange thing, I got up and I went to work, and I work, and when the end of the day, I told my supervisor that I'm not coming to work tomorrow because my child died,
Oh, so you got the news that morning and
Yes.
you just went to work, just
Yes.
like nothing going on.
Yes, I didn't say anything to anyone because
You tried to process them
the
yourself.
girls, because I don't like, because it's like, it's hard when people like telling you that they're sorry and hugging
Yeah.
you. So it makes you break down more, and everybody deal with crisis and circumstances differently. You
Yeah.
know?
Oh wow! On the 2021, you get another bad news.
Yes, it's like it was actually my day off, and then it was a Monday. I was home, and then I just got a phone call that then my son was in a car accident. So you're like waiting for the update,
Yeah.
It's like, call me, let me know what happened, because you're not expecting that. That's,
Mm-hmm.
And then I wasn't getting any call, and then I call his dad. He told me that he's at hospital. Not my son's wife was at a hospital, and then eventually my ex-husband called me and told me that he passed away. No, his wife called me and told me that he passed away, and I just didn't want to believe. So then I called him to confirm, and he said it was true, and that is like, it's like your whole brain just like blank. But before that happened, though, it's like God kind of give us like, you don't really know, but it's like there's feelings you get,
Mm-hmm.
My youngest son, I think it was his 21, he's 17 now, so I was 14, 15, I don't remember what age, but anyway, we went to Minneapolis for his birthday. So they were shopping, and we went to a shoe store, and I saw Clark shoes, ladies' Clark shoes. My son in Jamaica, he loves Clark shoes. And then I bought the shoes. I was thinking about him when I bought the shoes.
Yeah.
And then 3 days after, he died.
Wow.
But when I got the news, like, it was he and his friend that were going to work, so they sent me 2 photographs, And then the person told me that this body was my son. He wasn't dead when they sent the video, but I'm like, that don't look like my son. And they're like, yes. But I just, and I'm thinking,
They sent you
like a picture, like
picture of the crash.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was terrible. People do crazy stuff. I'm like, that's not my son. It's like, the next one is my son, but they're saying, no, it's not him. But anyway, it's like, I remember when my son was about maybe 3, he just have a very inquisitive mind, and he was like a deep kid.
Oh, okay.
So one night I was giving him a shower for bed, and he said to me, Mommy, when you finish my shower, I want you to put on my church clothes. And I thought, your church clothes? He's like, yes, and I want you to put my shirt into my pants and make sure you put my belt on and put on my shoes and my socks and make sure you tie my shoelace. So
As he was going to bed?
yeah, she was going to bed. So I was like, why? So he said, so if Jesus come in the night, then I'm ready to go with him.
At 3?
At 3 years old, So fast forward to 2021 when I saw the 2 person laying on the ground, and I just had a flashback to what my son had told me. Because the person who I know was my son, his shirt was in his pants and his belt was all tucked in and his shoes was clean. And It's like I have like a flashback of my son. So that was it. It was almost like my mind was telling me that this is your son, even though they're telling you otherwise.
Wow.
So that was like too much to deal with. It was like,
oh yeah, and I think the most painful thing is for a parent to bury their kids because it goes against nature, God.
Actually, I didn't go to my son's funeral.
Yeah,
and I don't think I'm going to any more kids' funeral either. I just think, like you said, it's like when I went to my daughter's funeral, it's like I felt like I was a spectator. I couldn't grieve
because you got to deal with everybody.
I got to deal with everybody. And at the time, my ex-husband was an addict, So we were divorced, but he was still living at the house. So it's like I just couldn't grieve, because my mind was always like on high alert. It's like, so I literally delayed my daughter's grieving. And the weekend when I went to Minneapolis, it was when I started to feel like I was able to
grieve.
Like I started to feel a little bit of happiness.
Interesting.
And I think if I wasn't feeling that happiness, I probably would have a heart attack or something because it would be like so much burden. But I felt like I was light.
So was the happiness came because now you got a chance to grieve and you relieve yourself?
Honestly, it was my youngest son's birthday. I don't know exactly what it was, but all I know is that I just felt this like something is being lifted, like I'm coming to grips with losing my daughter. It's like a light was coming inside my heart.
Yeah.
Which was not there for very long.
Yeah. How do you grieve on losing your child?
I guess I write. Like when my daughter died, I actually did a lot of writing.
Poetry?
Yeah, poetry.
Okay.
I did bring on my book, But
I'm going to tell you what, you're not going to be reading none of that stuff because I do not want to cry on this podcast.
Who said you're going to cry?
I'm going to tell you that right now.
What makes you think you're going to cry?
I'm going to read on my own.
You're going to read on your own? No, anyway.
So you write?
Yes, and this book is entitled For the Sake of My Sanity.
Okay.
So it's like you try to keep your brain sane. There you go.
When did you publish the book?
I think that was 2021 or something like that. But it was right around when my son died. I was doing the editing and I just kind of gave up and just let it be,
Yeah. For the sake of my sanity. What's the cover, man? The tree and...
Well, tree's life.
Right. Okay.
It's like, my grandmother raised me and her name was Myrtle. And Myrtle is a tree.
Okay.
Myrtle tree. So I like tree because we are like branches and our root goes deep. And sometimes our leaves fall off, like especially in the fall, But then even though we may not have any leaves, that doesn't mean that we're not growing strong beneath the surface.
Yeah. Oh, man. I want to stay on this for a second because I think death is part of who we are, but we never want to talk about it.
No, and I understand. It's like it's so profound, and it there's a poem that I wrote once that said like life and emotions is like you have like a closet where you put stuff away in because it's too much to deal with. So you don't want to deal with it, or you may not have the capacity to deal with it. So you keep putting it away. And then eventually your closet becomes too full.
Yeah.
And it starts to escape of the closet. And if you don't figure out how you're going to deal with your griefs, then that's why you have alcoholics and you have addicts and you have road rage and you have people who go do all kind of crazy stuff because we're not dealing with the emotions that hijack us. If it wasn't for my faith in God, I know that I would definitely
Going crazy.
I know I would. Like when my daughter died, like I said, I couldn't grieve, so I started volunteer at work to sing for patients.
Okay.
So I called it.
Oh, you volunteer to sing?
Yes, after my daughter died. So at work, I used to do like I think on my days off, on twice a week or something, not a week, twice per month,
Yeah.
So I would go and sing for patient, and then it helps to heal you while you're helping someone. And it's like, I find that I can walk into rooms and I can feel people pain. I literally can feel, because I've been through a lot of stuff, so I feel and I can identify with people, and they will tell me stuff that they probably don't want to tell their nurses or their doctors. And some of them want to talk to me and they don't want to talk to the chaplain that comes into their room.
So they feel a sense of trust.
Yes.
Now, one of your kids was it your son who was big in art?
Yes.
And that was the driving force for you to open up your own art shop here in town?
Yes, because I literally
What's the name of the art or the shop?
It's called Yat.
Yeah, okay.
So,
and give people the address so they will know where to find it.
It's behind Mercy Dermatology. Papa Murphy's on the other side, even though they're closed now, but it's kind of like behind the building.
Papa Murphy, yeah. You start painting yourself.
Yes, I didn't just start painting because my son died and I need to start painting. It was September 18th, 2021. I was in my bathroom praying and my eyes were closed and I just saw a black wall with white circles joined together. So I opened my eyes and I closed it back and it was there like I'm looking at you. And then the Spirit of God whispered in my spirit that maybe when your son paints stuff, he sees stuff in his mind eyes and then he paint. So I went and I started to draw some circles together. And then I called my daughter in Jamaica and I told her the weirdest thing just happened. And 2 circles put together make a perfect number 8. So when I told her that, she's like, oh, September 8th. I'm like, what's so special about September 8th? So, oh, it's Mark's birthday. So my son was born on the 8th of September, and 2 circles put together make a perfect number 8. So that was how.
Now, were you doing that in your dream?
No, this is reality.
Okay.
It's like, no, not a dream. I was like literally praying, and I just saw this vision of a black wall with white circles.
Oh, yeah.
And I kind of like shug it away, and I saw it a second time, and the Spirit of God says, maybe when your son painted, he sees stuff in his mind eyes, and then he draws what he see. And then I get this other vision that I need to pick up for my son where he left off and carry on for him.
Wow. That's when the painting started.
Yes.
Have you ever painted before? Oh,
I don't do draw stick people. No, I don't know nothing about primary colors or nothing. So art was not something that I was into. So no, that was my first time.
Wow. I think everybody's hurt somehow, some way. But I think we do not have the avenue how to deal with that pain.
True. And sometimes you may go to, because I had to get counseling, but most time when you really need it the most, they don't have any spot for you to go because they're all booked up,
Yep. Yeah, you can't call your therapy at Sunday night.
No.
Yeah, when you actually need to talk to somebody. This is great work here on a book. Walk me through the process, because I want to write a book sometimes in my life.
You go through phases.
Okay.
And it's like, for me, writing's not something like I went to school to learn to write or anything. It's like mind cleansing. So if you look at writing and like, you're going to stop sometimes, but you're going to pick it back up, So start where you at.
Yeah.
And a book is different from poetry, though, because poetry is like conversation, pieces of conversation.
It says she writes and sings to stay sane, which helps her rise above the deep wounds of her past.
Yeah, it is. You need several podcasts.
No. We're doing this one right here. I mean, I think that's interesting line though.
Yeah.
Wounds of our past. What are we talking about? Other than the ones that we already talked about.
You mean the death?
Yeah.
Well, when you've been divorced twice, that's wound too, and
yeah, that's true.
But that you can't get over that is like those are external. My mother didn't raise me. Those were like inferiority complex that you walk around with, because as a kid, did I do something for my mom not to like me? And you interpret stuff in your mind when you're a kid, Plus, I was molested as a kid, and those things, you carry them. And I didn't tell anyone about that until I was maybe 50 years old.
Really?
So, yeah.
Oh, wow. A lot of people who have been molested when they were young, they have not said anything.
No, because it's not something that you want to talk about. And it's like, I don't even know how old, I don't even remember how old I was. Or, so those are, how do you talk about stuff like that? It's not like now when you have hashtag movement and...
Is that a go back to the lack of connection, trust, shoulder to lean on, that in order for you to be open to say, because what was the difference between you not saying anything then until in your 50?
Okay, let's leave it then and get back to 50.
Yeah.
When I was 50, was I 50? Anyway, I was going to my son's wedding in Jamaica. And I was to bring my 2 kids that were born here to the wedding. And then I was thinking about the relative that it happened that molested me. First was going to be there. And I'm like, so I started to panic in my brain because you put it back, you don't deal with it. But then at some point, if you're going to be in a space, and it wasn't even about myself, it's like, my children is like, okay, you don't want anything to happen to them. And my grandmother raised me. My mom went to England when I was maybe at least 3 years old.
Okay.
And if you live with your grandparents, in my mind, I'm thinking, if I say something, what if she tell me I cannot live here anymore? Where am I going to go?
Yeah.
And it's like, you never hear anybody talk about stuff like that when you were younger. So what do you say? How do you say it? Who's going to believe you? Are you going to get the blame?
There you go.
So all the unanswered questions. And when you're a child, like I said, when you're a child, you think like a child. And sometimes the way you think is not always right.
So you're on your way back to Jamaica for the wedding. And you start getting anxiety because you're like, okay, I'm probably gonna run into this guy.
Yes, I know I would.
And then now nobody knows anything.
No.
At this point, your kid has no clue.
No.
How do you bring this out?
Let me see now. I was supposed to stay at one of my relatives' house, and I end up not staying there because then he would have more access to the place. I think it was after I came back, and then I started to get counseling because it was almost like I have like it's not like I had a wound that was not healed.
Yeah.
But I had Band-Aid on it, but then the Band-Aid get taken off because I let's say I got it wet because of the close proximity. I started to see this counselor, but then afterwards, she ended up leaving, and I couldn't get to talk to her anymore. And I'm like, I didn't want to talk to anybody else because it took me so long to start talking.
Yeah.
And then this person changed job, And then I ended up talking to my sister about it because the reason I started to break out on my foot. And I'm like, why am I breaking out? So it was the counselor who told me that when women and girls go through sexual trauma, it's like your body hold on to it, and it act up in acne and different ways. I had this sore on my foot that I didn't have it before I went to Jamaica.
So your body started responding.
Yes, I had
because now you put this thing right on the forefront because you had it in a closet for so long.
Yes.
Wow.
So I started writing.
So you stop with this counselor and then you just say, okay, I'm not going to find another one.
No, because it takes a lot to open up the people. Yeah. And then she was gone. So I'm like, and then it's like your closet is like everything is chaotic and you have to deal with it. How do I deal with it? Mm.
So writing became your counselor.
Yes, my shrink. So to some people, it may, I figure it's kind of like cleaning the cobweb from your mind, It's not going to be ever gone because some things you go through, you're never going to get over it. You're just going to have to learn to deal with it.
Yeah. When are you bringing your kids in it? When are you telling them?
Well,
because that also can be traumatizing.
Like my son had passed away. Eventually, when I told him, he was like crying. I was like, "Mom, why didn't you tell me?" And I was like, "I didn't want to burden you, Yeah. But then, like, what I do, I talk to my kids, maybe not about what happened to me, but explain to them unwelcome touches and stuff like that. So it's like you tell them, but not directly. You tell them to protect themselves. It's like what happened at school today, and you talk to them.
Yeah. But they're older enough, probably they already read the book.
Well, my older kids, but my two younger one is like I'm sure it's like mom's not popular. It's like
yeah.
My older kids, yes, they know by now,
Okay.
But my two younger kids, I'm not sure.
They don't. I mean, if they read the book all the way to the end,
eventually, even if this is when I'm no longer around.
Yep. Because they'll know like, it's about. Can you explain this line here in the book? Mm. It's crazy how much childhood trauma can shape our life.
Oh, yes.
Without even us knowing that our life has been shaped that way.
So I find for me, though, is that I am sorry for whatever happened. It wasn't my fault,
Yeah.
But then it makes me a better mom because I'm aware of the pain, the hurt, and I try to protect my children from stuff like that.
Can that also push you to raise your kids on fear?
Yes.
Kind of way?
Yes and no. It depends on how you... It's like that's when the Christian part, the God who loves you in spite of, and the Bible scripture that said that all things work together for good to them that love the Lord. God don't allow stuff to happen to us. It's not his plan to say, okay, you're going to get molested, you're going to be raped. That's not his plan. But when things happen to us, and if we look to him for help, then he helps us to understand and to deal with the pain and to use it like we talking here now. I don't know who's going to listen, but some of them may listen like, I'm 50 or I'm 55. I can talk about it now, so our lives become
connected
with somebody else,
Yeah, and that's what the storytelling is all about. So you say your mom left Jamaica when you were 3. She went to England?
Yeah, because...
Did she come back at all?
Well, she would visit, but then...
Were you the only kid?
No, my mother have 2 other kids, my 2 other sisters.
Okay. They're older or younger?
Older.
So she left all you 3 in Jamaica and she went to England?
It's like I did history repeating itself. I leave my children too. My situation is different from hers because even though I leave my children, it was because of them why I left to... Because my deal was to make sure my kids went to get an education. So, and it's like... And
how old were they when you left?
Well, 2004. I have a son that was born in 2002, so he was literally a baby.
Okay.
But my other ones were older, Like I said, we didn't have a good relationship. We didn't have a bad relationship, but we didn't have we didn't have a relationship, put it that way, So, you love her, I'm sure she loved me, but it's like there was not this mother-daughter connection. It was so bad that when I came here, somebody gave me one of those books that you write baby stuff in when I had my daughter here, and I could not write in that book.
How come?
Because it talks about your mother and father and whatever, and it's like I realized that I have so many missing pieces in my life. So he's like, this is traumatizing, even though it
Yeah.
shouldn't be, because it's like things that your mother like and whatever. I don't know nothing like that, you know?
Wow. Mm, mm. That's a lesson in itself.
Yeah, because it's like, I also have a sister that passed away 2020.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I had a lot of grief, you know?
Oh, jeez.
So it was, I felt after my sister died, like my mom and I connect, not on a mother-daughter level, but on a knowing what it feels like to lose a child.
Mm. 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 Would you say that trauma bonding?
Yes.
Interesting.
And because
Interesting.
I remember in my phone book, I couldn't call my mom mom is like, so I never call her. If I'm talking to her, I just talk.
You never say, "Hey, mom."
No,
Does it feel weird for you to do that?
it feel weird, you know. But in my phone book, I referred to her as birth mom eventually.
Oh,
So that was like,
that's how you saved her?
yes,
Her number is birth mom?
yeah. So after a while, it's like in my brain, like there was some recalculation in my brain. It's like, okay, I'm reconnecting with my birth mom.
Yeah.
For many years, I was not connected to her, even though I would talk once a while, you know.
Yeah.
But I didn't have the mother-daughter connection. So no, birth mom. So it's kind of like you're starting a new relationship.
Wow. Wow.
But the good thing for her, though, she's lucky, even though she don't even know, is like my dad. He never have anything bad to say about her. You know, he's like, so you were raised to give honor where honor is due. This is the person who birthed you. And then when I become a mom too, then I look at life differently, you know? It didn't take away the pain, and it's like, probably I blame her for stuff that she shouldn't get blamed for, but it's like, oh, who do you blame? You know, and at some point then there's nobody to blame.
Yeah.
But when my daughter died, though, it's like I think I went out on a limb that I didn't want to talk to anyone, which is sad. But that's how I if I didn't have these two kids that I have here,
Yeah.
I don't know what would have happened to me. I just wanted those to disappear. I wouldn't take my life, so that was not it. So I wasn't suicidal, but I just didn't want to talk to anyone. I quit talking to my relatives. I just wanted to feel like I just want to escape. Because I think what it was for me is that it's almost like I had stepped back into childhood, and all the hurt and the pain after my daughter died. You know, it's like I felt like I became a child again. So all these death, it brings up pain and trauma. So it's like I was thrown back into childhood.
Wow. Is your art shop kind of like a place for people to come relieve their pain?
Yes.
Is that where you're aiming at?
Yes, it's like,
Because you have people coming in there just paint if they want to.
yes. And some just come and just sit. And like,
Sit and talk, yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
I call it take the load off your mind. They say take the load off your feet. I say take the load off your mind, because our mind get too heavy.
Yeah. So it's like people can just come in there, sit down and not say anything, just meditate, look at the art.
Yes.
That's an interesting way actually to channel through pain and anger.
Yes, because everybody's dealing. Some people are just angry, and it's like you see people thinking, "Why is he so angry?" They're in pain, and when you're in pain, you cry out, you know, and you lash out on people who you shouldn't lash out on, you know.
Yep. Yeah. Every time, if you know anybody with anger problem, it's not anger, it's hurt and
It's
pain.
hurt.
Would you be able to become the person you became if you didn't go through all the pain you went through?
I don't think so. Because I think I'd be more shallow, because if you haven't been through certain things, then sometimes we tend to judge.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And look at
And
me. I was like, why don't I act like you? But when you've been through certain things, it's like you tend to. You can understand.
Have grace.
Yeah, grace.
Yeah.
That's the word, grace. It's like I could have been an alcoholic. Well, gosh, the stuff that I've been through, I could have been a drug addict.
Yeah. Are you fully healed, or you still no? Still, is the lifetime process?
It's like no, because it's like I don't work on my kids' birthdays, and because I can walk into like a room, OB to deliver a tray, and then I can have trigger. Because here you are, you delivering meals and your kid's birthday when your kids were born.
Oh.
So you know your trigger.
Okay. So you you take those days off.
Yes.
So you can be either spending time with your kids or
just
not being there.
Not being there because you get triggered, Like, when you watch those crazy Lifetime movies, we're all those crazy people on Lifetime that do dumb stuff. If you don't channel your energy the right way, Like January is always really hard because this January was really hard. I think this is the most depressing I've felt since a long time. My daughter died January 25th. And then my sister that died 2020, her birthday was the 26th of January.
Oh.
So he's like, why do I feel like this? But then it's like your brain may not remember the date, but then your body remembers.
What do you think? What do you think your purpose is?
I'm still trying to figure it out.
Okay.
I think I'm beginning to.
Okay.
It's like if I can make one person's life better for the day, then I think I'm living my purpose. Simple thing. Like just singing a song for someone. Treat people with respect. I went into a room once where there's the mom with her baby, and I always like make up little songs for the babies and sing, and it's like those babies are like a day old, and you start singing for them and they follow your voice. They follow you, and then they turn their head, and the room I'm talking to you about is like I was thinking it was so amazing that the baby started to follow me with her head. I don't know if it's a girl or boy, I don't remember. But anyway, so I said, well, this baby can hear. And then people start to cry in the room. And I couldn't understand. And they said that they were just about to do like a hearing test because they were thinking that baby couldn't hear.
Oh.
And here I come, sing a song for the little baby and just looking for me.
The baby start following the voice.
Yes. So right away, our baby can hear.
Oh, wow.
Because music is healing.
It's like music do both.
Yes.
Music can heal.
And rile you up.
And music can get you riled up, and you can do something real stupid.
Because it's a language.
Yeah. Yeah. Man.
I hope I'm not making you depressed.
No, you make me think. You make me think. I think the biggest key thing that we talk today on this episode is pain. That we know we all go through it. But most of us, we hiding our pain or we protect our pain. Because number one, we probably don't have the mechanism how to deal with it. So that pain ended up to manifest to something else. Most of the time is anger.
Oh, yeah.
You say fear, rejection, and you name it. Now we know how you deal with pain.
Or how I'm trying to deal with it.
Yeah, how you trying to deal with it. The way I'm trying to deal with pain, and I don't even know if it's a good way to deal with it or not. I'll write my feeling. I'll write the whole thing, how I'm feeling right that moment.
Yes.
On that heated up moment, it's like, this is how I'm feeling. So it's very, very raw. And I'll let it sit there. and then in a couple hours I'll read it. It works for me because for some strange reason, when I read later, I go like, I cannot believe that's how I feel about Yvonne right now. And then I'm asking myself a question. If I tell her this, how would she feel? Or if she was feeling about me like this and she tells me, oh, and that's always a start, bring temperature down for me, big time. And then I let it go like that for like 2-3 days. I keep reading it back because I think that's important to me because whatever something happened that caused that pain, we have that knee-jerk reaction. Quickly, we want to say something or do something. Yeah, so when I do that and I keep going back and read it, it just helps me because the anger keep going down, and then eventually just like, it's like, a practice.
Yeah, and it's like your emotion is like literally like a pressure cooker.
Oh, yeah.
I became a diabetic like a year ago. And it's like, that was also another like rude awakening, you know? And I know it's from all the pain and the hurt and stuff that I've been bottling up inside of me because it makes you sick, you know? Because I wasn't allowing God to help me to deal with my pain. I was trying to eat my pain away.
Yeah.
It's like you like when my kids' death anniversary or whatever comes up, you know?
Yeah.
I want to eat. I want to eat a whole Haagen-Dazs ice cream. I just want to eat my pain away. And it's like, you know, so that's temporary fix. And it's like, you're not helping yourself. You're just going to get worse, you know? So then when you become sick, and if you have enough sense to associate sickness with emotions, then you start to think like, oh my God, I don't want to be, you know, all this pain I'm feeling is like, I'm probably going to feel a certain way forever, but it's like, I don't want to add being a diabetic to it, you know?
Yes, true.
So I became a diabetic and I read up on it. It's like, since I started to deal with my emotions and stuff, it's like, I don't feel as bad as I used to feel.
Well, so no tayo, if you got some pain, you want to release them, go at the Yvonne Art Shop, go paint, go write, whatever you want to do to get that off. You don't need to talk to nobody. Yeah. You can just get the pain off on your own. Acknowledge your pain first.
Yeah, I have a PhD in pain.
Then that's a big fact right there. Yeah. Well, thanks for your time today.
No, thank you for having me.
I really appreciate it. You see, I told you this is going to be fun.
Yeah, it's like, let it go where it goes.
Yeah,
you know?
just let it. Yeah, we don't know. That's the beauty of conversation. When you sit down and have conversation with people, you don't pre-plan. It's like, yeah, let's sit down for a cup of coffee. This is just that, and we let the conversation flow where it goes, and you allow your heart to be free.
Yes, if you ever come to Yat is Yvonne Art and Things. Jamaican, we don't say things.
Okay.
Things.
Oh, so it's Yat, Y-A-T.
Yeah, Yvonne Art and Things. So
okay.
The things is just the way you pronounce it, because Jamaican have this thing of taking off the H off words. Like, instead of saying mother, mother, father.
Okay.
So it's like the H, you don't pronounce it. So it's kind of a Jamaican thing.
Okay.
But it still means things.
Okay, I got you. So, okay, Y-A-T.
Right, yeah.
Yvonne Art and Things. Okay,
Things.
okay.
And then I was like, I'm pouring out my pain, yeah. Oh, I'm pouring it out. Can't stand the pain, no, no, no. So I have to pour it out. Paint and pour your pain out.
I like that. I like that. I'm going to start using the word ting.
Ting, yeah, man.
Yeah, I think I'm going to start throw that in there.
Oh, yeah, ting. It's a Yvonne ting. It's a Jamaican ting.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
And there's even a drink in Jamaica called ting.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
And a grapefruit. So I just make up the words.
Oh, man. Well, thank you very much, Yvonne.
Thank you for inviting me.
This was great.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yep.